Give it up for William McNeil.
How y'all doing? Good. I said how y'all doing. All right. So, I got kind of a little presentation that I've been working on. Wow, this is short. It's down a little bit. Get this down. Down. A little bit. Gotta get it down. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Adrian, when I go like this, I need you to switch to the pictures on the slideshow, because while you guys have seen a lot of pictures of Pastor, I have searched high and low on the internet, and I have found pictures of Pastor never seen before by the human eye. Now, I'm tired. Before I begin, I just want to say, thank you for Pastor for allowing us to be able to roast you, and thank you to all the speakers that were here tonight, and thank you to Miss Vicky, who's also good. She's a good sport. She sit here, laughed at all the jokes, even though we're insulting her husband. And man, I'm tired. If you guys can forgive me for a second, it's just I'm having a little bit of a tough time with my kids, so I'm a little worn out. But it reminds me of this time where we used to go to Vicky's house for LifeNet, and one time I went over there and I was telling her, my kids, they've been acting up lately, a little bit challenging. And, I'm thinking she's going to encourage me, tell me ways to love. I mean, she is the pastor's wife, right? So I said, yeah, Miss Vicky, I'm not comfortable with her enough to call her Vicky. I just say Miss Vicky. So, Miss Vicky, yeah, the kids, they're getting on my nerves, and I need a little bit of advice. And she said, well, William, if you pinch him on his shoulder blade about right here in the neck, they will pass out. And I said, really? I said, really, that works? And as she said that, Charity came from upstairs with laundry. She was doing laundry. She said, watch this. And Charity fell out. I mean, we had the whole LifeNet with Charity passed out on the floor. I was like, praise the Lord, looking over at Charity was shaking. So I was like, Miss Vicky, how you gonna wake her up? She's like, oh, this is easy. She do like this. And she did it. Charity got back up, picked the laundry up, and kept it moving like she didn't know that an hour had passed without anything happening. So, yeah, I know we are here to roast the pastor. I just had to say that real quick. And one thing about that, if you have a question about that, you just ask, Miss Vicky. But here's a warning. It does not work on adults. Because my wife and I got into an argument, and I said, look, Joy, I'm not playing, I don't know how small you think I am, but, I'm not in the mood. And she said, well, William, if you got something to say, you say it. And she turned around and walked away. And I said, yeah. She turned around, looked at me, and headbutted me. I was out on the floor for half an hour. It was like 35 minutes or something. I don't know. All right, so anyways, we're here to roast the pastor, so I have my notes here. Let me get into it. I mean, I really don't, I think it's kind of tacky if you really want to insult him, but that's what a roast is about. So let me get to some of my little insults. Pastor is short. Pastor has short-term memory. He's a little short on cash. He craves shortcake. He surfs in a bathtub, skydives off a curb. When he comes in the room and says, I'm not happy, I say, you're not happy, so which dwarf are you? Knock, knock. Pastor. The pastor that can't ring the doorbell, ding-dongs. All right. So, his favorite movie was Short Circuit. If he ever was a fortune teller who had warrants, he'd be a small, medium at large. When he's in a skyscraper and he flew after the 8th, he has to walk because he can't reach the buttons after the number 8. So he goes to the 8th floor and says, well, we're footing it after this. So, yeah, that's about, let me think, let me see what else I got. Yeah, and that's because I wanted to keep, okay, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to keep that part short. So now that all the insults are out the way, that wasn't that bad, was it? I mean, put the bat down, it's not. I see Vicky's hands, she's ready. She got the cobra, she's ready to get me if I say anything. Well, it was hard to get people, this roast was hard to put together. We had, a lot of people we sent, requests out to, and, a lot of people didn't want to speak, but the problem was they just wasn't funny. And I don't know if you've ever had someone who's not funny try to tell you a joke, but, I'm not going to name any names, but someone was like, all right, look, I got a joke, okay? All right, I'm going to say this at the roast, all right? Okay, so, it was Sunday, right? Because church, so he's a pastor, he's at church on Sunday. And he was preaching, right? And if you can't finish the joke, don't bother telling it. I mean, in the middle, he's like, yeah, it's Sunday. I didn't know if it was an alarm. I was looking around for an alarm, we really couldn't get that many people. So I'd like you guys all to give a round of applause for the people who did come up here and speak, because it's not easy. A lot of people have stage fright and everything. Okay, so my first picture was the pastor. He was a bubbling, bouncing baby boy, born March 23rd, 1904. Can we get the lights, please? We need the lights. I need everybody to see this. We can keep the lights off even. It's all right. Never seen before by the human eye, I found it. That's right. He was a bouncing baby boy. He was 6 pounds and 8 ounces, and his head was also 6 pounds and 8 ounces. Most adults, they start growing height-wise at around 21. I think that's the age where you stop growing and, getting tall. And some women, they even after 21, they stop getting tall. But the pastor, he stopped growing at 2. So, on his days off, he enjoys taking his Power Wheels out for some 4-wheeling. Yeah, you guys can go back. You can go back to the one before this one too. Yeah, that's the pastor. That's him when he's, eating and relaxing on his days off. He just likes to let his legs hang out. And this picture was actually taken last week. So yeah, so he's always working though, and if you want to go to the next one, yeah, go to the next one after that. He was in a gang, and you would wonder, why would someone want someone so short in a gang? Because, let's be honest. If I'm sitting on this chair and I'm short as Pastor Bobby, and I'm like, look, I'm going to beat you up. I ain't playing. I'm gangster. I'm tough. I'm a real G. Who is afraid of a man whose legs can swing on a chair like this? I ain't playing. I'm going to get upset right now. You ain't going to like it when I'm upset. So that didn't work out well. So, they had to find the means for him in the gang. So they figured, órale, vato, listen. Órale. If we get pulled over and we have any open containers, we can just have Bobby hide in the glove box. So that was his role in the gang. As you can see, he's doing his gang signs right on the glove box, and as soon as they get pulled over, he'd crawl up in a little ball and roll up into the glove box. Nobody would know he's there. So Bobito Shortfoot was his name in the gang, and y'all didn't, that's what that stands for, Bobito Shortfoot. And that was his role. So and another thing about gangs too is, if you ever talk to someone in the gang, it's like you can have a whole conversation with them and not know what they're saying. They'll be like, because I had to, do my dirt, so I had to ask some people who know him, how was Bobby in the gang? They were like, hey, órale, whoop whoop, that's my word, gangsta punk, yo, trick this, la daza, benga, body in the body, yo. I didn't know what he said. I didn't know if he wanted me to leave him alone or if he wanted to get milked. I don't know. But yeah, you know, they talking the games, that's a little, I don't know, I leave that stuff alone. But, you know, if we go to the next slide, you know, Pastor, after he left the game, he was a ladder climbing champion in 1998. I bet you guys didn't know that, did you? Yeah, he would, you know.
1984. That's just
No,
1998.
oh, he won both years. He was a winner in both years. When he was little, he had, you know, they tell him, you know, go get the box of cereal out the top of the refrigerator. He had to get the ladder, climb up the ladder. You know, when he had to use the potty, you know, Babito, use the potty. He had to get the ladder, climb up on the potty. So, you know, I mean, you know, he was a ladder champion in those 2 years. He was also a hide and seek champion too. Go to the next slide. See that? I mean, you could not find that man for the life of me. Hide and seek champion. And you know, he works hard. Our pastor works hard. He does a lot of stuff. And you know, to make money, it's not like, you know, money doesn't fall off trees. So he has another job too. He's also a stroller model. And you know, that's buy a stroller, Babito. So yeah, you know, he was a great stroller model too. And I just, in closing, after these pictures, I just want you guys all to appreciate the pastor that you have, because we have a good, noble, God-fearing, God-loving, no-cheating pastor. And, you know, a lot of churches can't say the same. So, you know, give it up for our pastor. Also, in closing, I want everyone here, every single person, if you have a second of your time, to please give him a hug. I hear he loves them. Thank you guys. I want you guys all to see you later. Thank you.